This week on Pure Brews, a season finale so full of awesomeness that it's ready to explode!
We check out a sea of barrels at New Holland, plus we visit a Detroit original at Motor City Brewing Works. Today we are at New Holland Brewing Company, home of Dragon's Milk, and of course they have a giant dragon.
Yeah, it makes sense. And she is the queen distiller. She's the breaker of variation. What is going on?
Oh gosh, I'm going to drink.
Yeah, that's a good idea. All across America, the craft beer industry is exploding. I'm Ryan Terpstra, professional beer lover.
And I'm Shannon Long, founder and CEO of Brew Export.
Let us be your tour guides behind the scenes, where we will meet the key players and the beer makers and learn how they turn their dreams into reality.
We'll be traveling across the state to introduce you to some of Michigan's best beers.
It's a craft beer revolution on Pure Brews America.
I moved here 2 years ago and I will never leave. I'm just loving it.
I've been coming here for years, since before they were in this building, when they had a little brewery, teeny brewery, far away, or on the other side of town, and so it's good to see them be big, and I love it.
You know, when we started at the brewery back in '96, we started because we thought there was a void of well-made, well-constructed, full-flavored beer. And we started out to kind of fill that void, and we thought we could do some things differently.
Brett is not kidding. New Holland Brewing is known throughout the industry for their signature styles, from their Mad Hatter series to their craft spirits, their sour collection, and of course, Dragon's Milk, a beer so good they have people driving across the country to get it on tap. Mason, tell me where you came from. You're at New Holland Brewery. You're not from around here.
San Diego, man. San Diego, California.
And you drove out here, and you're drinking beer here. Why are you drinking beer here?
I'm drinking beer here because I actually work for a convenience store that specializes in craft beer. I'm a big fan of barrel-aged beers, so I had to give Dragon's Milk a shot, and it blew me away, honestly. Like, it stood out. It's unique. The journey to Michigan was long, but it was well worth it. And your guys' beer is awesome. It's cool to see the movement all the way like out here and just thriving.
Dragon's Milk is one of the few bourbon barrel-aged beers that you can find all year long on Meijer store shelves. But we had to know, where do they keep all the barrels filled with beer?
I brewed the first batch of Dragon's Milk back in 2001, and it started out with just one barrel. We didn't have a big room like this. It was just tucked in a corner, and it's just organically, slowly grown. Then over time we said, wow, we have something here. The fans were starting to kind of line up for it. We tried to just find more space. We realized climate control was really critical to the quality of the product, so we started making more and more investment to do it right. So we have a total of 12,000 square feet that we can dedicate to Dragon's Milk.
Right now, Dragon's Milk is in these tanks, and we've got to get it into the barrels where it's going to sit for 3 months and soak up all that bourbon amazingness that we know and love.
Yep.
So I think we got Mark, Jason, and Shannon. We're gonna fill these guys.
We can go ahead and do this one. So we got an empty oak bourbon barrel. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna take this valve, you're gonna squeeze it, turn it, and then it'll start filling up.
Oh my gosh, I could just sit here all day smelling that. Do you do that? Do you just sit here to sniff barrels? Oh my God, that smell. You can literally smell it like pouring out of there. We're getting close. So you just twist that or pull?
As it comes up, you're going to get the valve ready to close fairly quickly.
What happens? Oh gosh, I missed that split second.
It's moving pretty fast.
So the answer on filling barrels is carefully. Unfortunately for New Holland, I'm not always a very careful person.
New Holland has a wide variety of titles outside of Dragon's Milk, and they have Fred Biltman, whose goal is to bring the good word of craft to the masses.
So they call you the beer evangelist. Can you tell me a little bit of how you got that title.
We in the craft industry were really trying to change the world and try to bring flavor to a place that lacked it. So I just thought about what is it we're really doing and how could I say that in a more lighthearted, fun way, and I just kept coming around to the fact that our mission is to bring beer to the people. So I made up Beer Evangelist, and you know, you're not supposed to make nicknames for yourself, but I considered it a job title, so I think it's legal, and it kind of stuck as a moniker, and it's something that I've been working under ever since.
Final stop at New Holland, we headed to their pub on 8th Street, where Bert the brewer wanted to make a beer in our honor. And a month prior to our visit, he and I started up a Cherrywood smoked porter.
So there's the blend. So all of it's from Michigan.
This is all in Michigan. You love your Michigan ingredients, Joe. Yeah. You only use Michigan ingredients.
100%.
Let's get working.
Okay, we'll get this thing going. I'll show you the technique and we'll get cracking. No pun intended.
All right, time to use the muscles.
Yep, you don't need to join a gym when you're doing this.
No. All right. You're probably a lot faster than me at this.
Yeah, but I've done it about 1 million times more too.
All right.
I think we got everything good. All right.
So this is our wort coming through right now.
This is what we call first runnings. See all the junk?
That is so dark. That looks like a nice dark roast coffee with chunks in it.
We are utilizing a hop that's grown up in Michigan by Empire called Brewer's Gold. My guess is we're probably going to end up around 8.5 barrels, so like about probably 250, 260 gross. So, yep.
Bert, thanks so much for letting me brew with you today. Let's move this smoked porter to the fermenter.
All right, let's go.
All right, guys, it's been a great day at New Holland. We've got the crew together. We got JP, we've got Bert, and we've got some beer.
We don't just have any beer. We have the Pure Brews smoked porter brewed by Bert and I.
Well, cheers to that.
Cheers.
Cheers.
After the break, it's time to see what's happening at Beer School.
If you told me a year ago, people I would have met, the things I've done in just a year's time, I told you there's no way.
And then we crank up the music at Motor City Brewing Works.
Come and enjoy. But don't, I don't want it to get too popular. It'll get crowded then.
Stay tuned, more Pure Brews America coming up.
At Lawrence Technological University, you'll go way beyond the books. Professors with real-world experience deliver hands-on instruction in small classes, helping students land co-ops, internships, and research projects. By graduation, 80% of LTU students have jobs or plans to pursue master's degrees. And most Lawrence Tech grads earn more than their peers. So if you're ready to embrace your possibilities, we want you at LTU.
Why are you all here? To learn, right? So you can get a good job, so you're not working for peanuts. Well, what if I told you that peanuts can work for you? While you guys are busy napping, peanuts are delivering 7 grams of protein and 6 essential nutrients right to your mouth. You ever seen a peanut take a day off? No. Peanuts don't even get casual khaki Fridays, because peanuts take their jobs seriously. So unless you want a life of skimming Wi-Fi off the neighbors, you'll harness the hard-working power of the peanut.
At Rogue Brewing, we have a burning passion to bring you the best beers, including Livewire, a classic American IPA that is shockingly refreshing. Powerbow, our Belgian wheat beer with summer zest. Mean Street, an American amber that is clean as it is mean. And Devil Dog, our oatmeal stout brewed in honor of our nation's veteran. Rogue Brewing Company, aggressively brewed in Royal Oak, Michigan. Roca.
This is The Middle, a place where somehow common sense just seems a little more common. Where people come together, look each other in the eye, and get to work. Our hands may be calloused or sometimes sore, but we raise them quickly and lend them easily. Because this is the heart of the heartland. This is Michigan, and we're big believers in more. Like we can always do a little more, give a little more, love a little more. and find ways for our families to have a little more. We were born and raised here, and for 80 years now, we've made it our business to do whatever we can to help people have and do a little more.
What is Meijer Beer Frontier?
The Beer Frontier is your online home for discovering and exploring Michigan's best breweries and beers. What flavor of popcorn pairs best with your favorite beer? Educate yourself on this important issue and further fuel your passion for craft with the Meijer Beer Frontier.
An account like Meijer is great for getting it in front of people that might not normally be exposed to it because the reach is so broad and it goes so much further out of our backyard.
They continue to kind of build their beer section, and they are a big store with a lot of different customers, and they continue to draw craft consumers in because they represent brewing and distilling community of Michigan really well. They've been an early supporter. They've not only carried our product when they didn't necessarily have to yet, but they also have been a good mentor in terms of helping us understand their business and helping us understand how to be a better supplier. So it's been a great collaboration. Again, bringing more beer to more people is what it's all about, and they're a huge supporter of Michigan beer and of New Holland, and we're grateful for it.
Explore, learn, and share. Let Meijer be your guide across the beer frontier. Plenty of people are eager to work in the craft brewing industry, and a question that is often raised is, where can I learn the skills to get hired? The answer is at Schoolcraft College in Livonia, who launched a comprehensive brewing and distilling technology program in 2015.
The curriculum has 7 courses here. We start you out with the brewing science so that you understand all of the science, the physics, the chemistry, and the biochemistry of the brewing and the distillation process. We have a brew house operations and technology course. We take you through cellaring, packaging, and quality management, advanced brewing and distillation. There is a beer styles and flavors class taught by a certified Cicerone, and we have a marketing and operations management course too in the program.
I teach my students about all the beer styles. I think if you ask any industry professional how to become a better brewer, they'll tell you that one of the most important things is to really understand how to evaluate and taste your beer. And I also teach a little bit about the business side, just a little bit about laws and what it takes to open a brew pub, front of the house. I actually teach them how to bartend. This restaurant we're filming in right now is run by the culinary department, and my students actually pour and serve beer to the customers on Thursday and Friday evenings. That coincides with my class time.
The chefs are super cooperative, and we're situated right here in the middle of all of the teaching kitchens. That's where our brewery is. We're going to be working on integrating the brew pub operation more with culinary arts.
Chefs are chefs. They like to cook. They like to create. So do brewers. So it's a pretty good relationship, and it's a good model. One of my main goals is, one, they need to learn how to use a tri-clamp. That's what brewers use all day long, and then they need to know how to clean a tank.
All the hands-on that we get here, just be able to see everything, the big brewers use. And I started last September, and I wasn't even prepared before to start a brewery. Now I feel like I am. It just gave me a lot more knowledge. If you told me a year ago, people I would have met, the things I've done in just a year's time, I told you there's no way. It's just great experience so far.
I guess what surprised me is just the absolute motivation and intensity of the students that are in these courses. These people are like pit bulls, and they really, really are into brewing. We're at twice our capacity right now, so all the classes are full and there are waiting lists for them. So we've had people come up to us and say, you changed my life. I'm going to be able to do a job and a career in an area that I love.
Begin your journey in the craft brewing industry. Visit schoolcraft.edu/brewing to learn more about their brewing and distillation technology program.
I couldn't think of a name for an IPA, and that one popped into my head. I'm like, I want a beer right now. And then we're like, man, we should name a beer that. That'd be funny because when people order it, they're gonna be like, can I get a beer right now?
Beer right now is being made in Detroit, Michigan at a company called Brew Detroit. They make the beer to our specs. We worked with them for about almost a year to get to this point.
This is the first time that we've ever distributed one of our beers, and it's an IPA. It's very hoppy. It's about 6.8% alcohol. I love hoppy beers, and so that's why we're doing that one first.
Hi, I'm Cam.
And I'm Gary, and we're from Hopcat.
To celebrate the holidays, we're going to be making a Tipsy turkey.
With drunken gravy.
So we're gonna make a turkey marinade here. We're gonna take a little bit of soy sauce, a little bit of beer.
What kind of beer are we using?
This is a porter. A little bit of honey to bring out a little sweetness in that bird. A little bit of olive oil to ensure consistency. Some fresh garlic. And this is just a little combination of salt, black pepper, and crushed red pepper flakes.
What's that?
This is Dijon mustard.
Oh, nice. In goes the bird. Boom, look at that. You want to dump that marinade in there? So we're going to put this in the fridge overnight. Probably every couple hours, you're going to want to get out, play with it with the kids. We've thrown the bird in the oven, and how long do you want to cook that for?
It really all depends on the size of the bird. You're going to want to take your pocket thermometer and temp that thing at 160. There's really no better way. We'll reserve the neck and giblets from the turkey in the beginning. And we'll start by sauteing these things up in a little bit of garlic and butter, adding just a couple sprigs of fresh thyme and a bay leaf, and just pour it right over top. Also going to take the rest of my Founder's Porter.
Before you can finish the gravy, you need to make a
roux.
Roux. And roux is?
Flour and butter. Then you want to start introducing these drippings into the gravy.
And that is how you make
Tipsy turkey
and drunken gravy.
Next on Pure Brews, a beer that you can hear.
It's tied in very closely with the music community, so it really is a genuine hybrid, a collaboration.
Things get funky at Motor City Brewing Works in Detroit, so stay tuned to Pure Brews America.
LTU students have jobs or plans to pursue master's degrees. And most Lawrence Tech grads earn more than their peers. So if you're ready to embrace your possibilities, we want you at LTU.
Lazy days and lazy nights, I'm sitting at the bar and everything's alright. Just kicking back and taking my time, and I feel fine.
Jack Link's Beef Jerky presents Messin' with Sasquatch.
Classic. Here we are, big fella. Come get it, big guy.
Jack Link's Jerky. Feed your wild side.
We want you.
We are Lawrence Technological University, and we don't want just anyone.
We want the brainiacs, visionaries, geniuses, and game changers. We want the students who will change the world through technology, science, business, and design.
So if you're ready to explore your possibilities,
we want you at LTU.
Lawrence Tech. Possible is everything. So we're here across the street in the warehouse at Motor City Brewing Works, and this is where we have our cooler, we store all our beer, and this is the baby that makes it all happen.
You thinking what I'm thinking?
Oh, I'm thinking what you're thinking.
Shannon and I's evil plans aside, Pure Brews is happy to be back in Detroit. Our show's very first episode shoot was at Water, and now we are wrapping up season 2 at Motor City Brewing Works, a craft brewery with a blend of history, flavor, and love for music and community that is the perfect reflection of this city.
We went from 95 to 2001, and we did not have a tap room. In 2001 is when we added the tap room. And in those days, it was very local-centric. I mean, it was just the neighborhood would come in. And I'd say the last 3 or 4 years, we have definitely become a destination spot for out-of-towners coming into Detroit, wanting to check out the spaces.
I just know it's a great place to come to, man. I can always jump in, get a good pizza. Pizzas are great. People are great. Sit at the bar, mess with people, mess with Zach and Scott on the daytime all day long. And it's nice.
It's just a nice place. It's set back, so it's easy to miss. So I think that's why it is sort of a haunt of the neighbors. Yeah.
We're really big in our backyard in Detroit proper. I live here. I've lived in this neighborhood, between this neighborhood and downtown for 30 years. We're residents. These are truly our neighbors. Detroit's a very community-oriented place. A very old saying that Detroit's the biggest small town, and one of the biggest small towns, and it's true.
The brewery's been here forever, so it almost feels like it's carved into the neighborhood.
It's not like we just set up shop here and it's a business. We live here. So all of the things that come connected with the community is, we're a part of that. So we participate.
What are some things that your customers tell you about your beers that really stick with you or make you proud of what you do?
When they say it's good, it's good enough for me, really. That's great. This beer tastes awesome. Fantastic, done. And really, it's kind of that simple. We want to make a really clean beer. I'm not one of those people that like to freak people out. So if somebody takes a sip of beer and they get this quizzical look on their face, or they're like, oh, that's very interesting, I don't like to hear that. And I just like to hear, oh, this tastes awesome, I'll have another.
Beer review is great, man. They got a lot of different good beers on tap. I'm actually had a cider beer right now, and they got some good stouts on draft, good lagers on draft, so they got a nice selection going.
The beer that Motor City is best known for is Ghetto Blaster, a mild ale that aligns itself with the Detroit music scene, and because of that, it's known as the beer that you can hear.
Ghetto Blaster is actually one of our oldest flavors. It'll be 20 years old next year. We introduced that in 1997. Really, it was an attempt on my part to just reconcile the two worlds I was in at the time. I had a recording studio downtown, and we were getting the brewery started. So I was just looking a way to marriage the two ideas.
He was trying to find like a beer that was different at the time, and you only had so many malt choices and hop choices 20 years ago. So he was using the newest malts that he could get at the time from the maltsters that were released. So it's a really biscuity kind of flavor malt, because that was something new on the market at that time. And he was trying to make a session type of beer that was easy to drink. And so he settled on this English style mild, because it was this obscure kind of beer style that no one knew about. Everyone was still making IPAs and pale ales, but it was just something new and different that he was exploring.
And we were kicking around fun ideas, names in the studio, and that name just stood out super easy.
A Detroit style mild. I love, not an English mild. This is a Detroit mild. Very cool. This beer's been around long enough to own that name, I think.
Yep, about 22 years.
Beer's almost as old as I am. Scary.
It has a good taste. It's almost like a little nutty taste to it, and nice color. So it's a lot of fun.
Thanks to their friends at Brew Detroit, Motor City's been able to increase production of Ghetto Blaster while freeing up tank space to produce a number of other fantastic beers.
Right now, Oktoberfest is the big boomba. You gotta have a big boomer, but La Rouge, man, Amber Beer, Gigawatts, IPAs, Nut Blaster, Nut Brown, Ghetto Blaster, all my favorites.
What's up first?
That's gonna be the Motown Lager. It's just a nice, light, crisp, bohemian style lager.
I could drink this all day long and night long, and then
very easy drinking, lawn style beer.
Literally the most refreshing beer.
What should we try next?
Let's do your honey porter.
All right.
So this is your favorite.
One of my favorites.
You don't play.
It's very easy drinking. I like them all. It's going to have a nice aroma. It's going to have a nice dark malts to it, so you get a little bit of coffee.
That chocolate roastiness right on the nose.
Chocolate roasting. It's got that little...
I am a fan of the dark beers, so I have the honey porter.
I don't know, a lot of porters sometimes are a little heavier. This one's pretty mellow, pretty light, but it has a nice full body to it still.
It is really good. That's my first time having it, but I really liked it.
And what's last? What are we gonna try?
IPA. Everyone's got an IPA.
Everyone loves the IPA. It has Simcoe, Warrior, Columbus hops in it.
Sure smells yummy.
Well-rounded.
Those hops aren't making your eyes bleed, but
It's not overly hopped. It's very easy, very nice.
Well, you guys definitely know how to balance your beers here, how to keep them somewhat sessionable, and just good, refreshing beers. Cheers.
To get the beer to the people, you've got to get it into the kegs properly. So Charlie took me into the cold room to show me how it's done.
What are we doing?
I'm kegging some lager, basically. Gotta make sure I have top pressure so I don't implode the tank or just not get beer.
That would be awkward.
That would suck. That'd be very expensive. Just open it up. Dump a little for my homies.
Good to go. My turn.
Yeah.
All right. All right, just put it on and turn.
Put her on there, Dad.
I surprisingly really haven't tapped any kegs, so this could get
All right, make sure the handle's up.
up, then turn.
Turn it in there, then put the handle down to lock it in.
Ooh.
Then open the vent.
This one?
Yeah, just a little, like halfway, until it starts to hiss.
Oh, hissing.
Beautiful. Like a pro.
I had the best teacher ever.
The immediate future is Brew Detroit is really a relatively new thing for us. So putting Ghetto Blaster into cans, this is the first year for that. We are also opening a second taproom location here in the city again, over by Palmer Park. So we're hoping to have that satellite facility up and running by the fall of 2017. So we've got plenty to work on.
Our time has come to an end at Motor City Brewing Works, but remember how Dan was showing us that storage facility across the street? Yeah, about that.
Hey, I have to run across the street to check on something. I'll see you in a bit.
All right, see you, Dan. Can you drive this thing?
I'll give it a try.
Good enough for me. Let's go.
We want to thank you for coming along for the ride with us this season on Pure Brews.
Head to our Facebook page for episodes and bloopers, and check out purebrewsamerica.com for updates on Season 3. Cheers to that.